What's up, y'all? John Melton coming to you live with another episode of Money Monday. Hope everybody had a super duper fantastic weekend. I'm fired up, jacked up, and excited as usual. You guys are probably like, man, nothing phases this dude. This is true. I mean, I still get phased, but the show goes on. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta do what you gotta do to make it happen, my friends. All right, so we are live on my Facebook profile, my Facebook page, M Life Nation, My Lifestyle Academy, our YouTube channel, Instagram, A Player Workshop. We're in like 9 places right now. Maybe not 9, but like at least 7. So I'm excited to talk about how to build a 6-figure income, how to develop into a 6-figure earner. So let me know in the comments if you're excited about this conversation. Smash the heart button. If you're really excited, smash the share button. I'm also going to randomly give away some 90-day trackers for those of you that want to crush. Now, I will tell you, we have a digital version of this as well over on our resources page. If you didn't know, mylifestyleacademy.com/resources has like, I know this might sound a little arrogant, but we got like the best resources, free resources for anyone in network marketing. I mean, I'm just going to say that, right? There might be a couple other people that are pretty good at offering freebies, but not as good as us. Just saying. I know I'm biased, but it still doesn't mean it's not true. Anyway, so I'm going to randomly pick some winners that are sharing, tagging, engaging. I'm going to pick some random winners to give away. Some of these, like, I'm going to have to mail them personally, but we have a digital version on our resources page. So let's have some fun. Let's see who's having and you're engaging, you're sharing all the things. What's up, Shelly? What's up, Helen? Julia in the house, Sandy in the house. So, let's really talk about it. So I think for a lot of us, and let me know in the comments if you would love to create a 6-figure income in your home business. How many of you have created a 6-figure income? Let me know in the comments. How many of you would like 7 figures? How many of you are like, John, I just want to fire my boss. I just want to create a full-time income. Like, that would be a thing of beauty. I get it. Listen, this is why I'm having this conversation. And I think most of what I teach, as you probably know, it revolves around social media. Why? Because to me, it's been the greatest invention for a network marketer, for a social marketer, whatever you want to call it, right? People that are trying to build a brand, attract people, they're trying to attract leads, they want to attract sales online. Like, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, if you don't want to leverage social media to build a business, what else you got to do? You got to do home parties? You got to go knock on doors? You got to cold call people? Look, you can do those things. I just think those things suck. That's why I had MLM PTSD, because I was doing those things, not the knocking on doors, never did that. But I did a lot of cold calls, and I would pull like business cards off bulletin boards, literally at like Starbucks or whatever. And then I would cold call those people like, hey, Sarah, you are highly recommended to me. That's crazy. So, that was hard. Doing a PBR, a private business reception at 6:30, an hour and a half away from my home, 6:30 at night, and then another one at 8:30 that was like an hour west of the first meeting. I did this every night for 5 years, burnt myself out, and got to that point where I just had such bad MLM PTSD that I'm like, I'm either quitting network marketing or I'm going to figure out a way to do it from home. And from home ended up being online, and online ended up being social media, specifically Facebook. I love me some Facebook, right? How many of you love the Facebook? But I can also tell you that there's a lot of other amazing platforms. So whether it's TikTok, Instagram, how many of you saw that interview with Kayla Betts where she is just killing it with TikTok? Absolutely killing it. But then I'll have someone else on here that's, they're all about Instagram, right? We just had this woman, Cindy Curry, on our team. I mention her a lot because she's #1 in all of Canada for our company. She more than tripled what the second place person got last month. I mean, she crushed it like never before, hit her biggest rank ever, her biggest month ever, because of Instagram. So you just have to figure out what platform works for you. But here's what you need to do. If you want to get to 6 figures, this is the path that all of us should take. And this is the path that I love because I did it the old school way. Recruiting recruiters to recruit recruiters. Our product is the comp plan. It's all about get in early, get in, get in now, and like I'll place people under you, or get in now, and then we can find two people that that want to make money, and then two they get two, they get two, or three they get three, they get three. And it was all about recruiting. It was all about the money. It was all about, hey, make a list and invite people to your home presentation, your home meeting, your PBR, private business reception. Get me on some three-way calls. It was all about recruiting. And as much as I love recruiting, and I out recruited everybody last year except for one person, Michelle Churchill. If she sees this, she is like on a whole other level. She recruited 20 people last month, and here I recruited 6, and I thought I did pretty good. But the fact is, recruiting is the number one skill set. But what's before that? What do you think it is? Let me know in the comments. Tell me in the comments. Let's go. Let's see some answers. Sandy Norton, thank you for sharing. Angel, good morning to you. Actually, afternoon. That's true. Julia, what's up? Joshua, how's it going? Come on, tell me. Let's see. What do you guys think the skill to develop is before recruiting? If you had to guess. Little gander. Okay, connection. Boom. Julia said it. Product sales. If you can't sell a product, if you can't get a customer, you ain't got no business recruiting. I'm just saying. Now, should you lean into the recruiting conversation? Should you lead with the business proposition? Sure. I love recruiting. A lot of my conversations start off with business, but I've been doing this 22 years. I've been with the same company for over 8 years. So it's a different deal for me, right? I have a lot more influence. Now, in the beginning, I didn't. In the beginning, I was broke, busted, and disgusted. No background in business, no business being in business. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I did was recruit. The problem was when we would recruit someone, that's a mouthful, when we would recruit someone that could not recruit, they quit. That kind of sucks. That kind of sucks that, like, if you're not a recruiter, you can't win in network marketing. Let me ask you a question. How many of you are in real estate, or insurance sales, or car sales, or solar sales, or any type of sales? Did you have to recruit people to make money? Did you have to recruit to make money? Did you have to enroll other people in order for you to move up, rank up, bank up? No. It's kind of weird that in network marketing, that seems to be the thing. And I will tell you, decades ago, that wasn't the thing. That's what kind of came about in the 90s. If you talk to like legends in the profession that have been around like literally decades, and I've been around for like 2 decades, but I'm talking people that have been in 30, 40 years. It was all about retailing the product. It was leading with the product benefit and getting people so excited about the product, and then you would recruit. But then in the 90s, it was there were certain companies that are like water filtration. It was like, listen, you can sell $100,000 of product, or you can just buy $100,000 in product and you automatically hit a top rank. And then you can recruit other people that buy $100,000 in product. And that's how companies ended up in trouble, because it was called front loading. And these people would end up with a garage full of water filters or whatever the company or product was, high ticket stuff. And, it's just those things caused a big problem in the profession. And as you can imagine, the authorities had to step in and shut some of those companies down, rightfully so. So the truth is, nowadays, you have a lot more companies that are creating better products. And, there's more science, and there's more legitimacy and efficacy, and all that's important. But, you got to have that as a part of your training. And I think that's why a lot of people struggle to get to 6 figures, or even 5 figures, or for some of you, even a check with a comma, 4 figures, because you can't sell a damn product. You have to learn to sell. People are like, I don't like selling. I don't like you sold me. John, I don't like to sell. I'm convinced. I believe you. You see, everything is selling. And I know some people get annoyed by this, like, oh, that's just cringy. That's not selling. But it's persuasion, right? You're trying to persuade me or get me to agree with you, or you're trying to convince me of something. Like, how many of you have kids? Let me know in the comments how many kids you have. You ever had to like convince your kid to clean his or her room? I almost said it. You ever try to get your kid, you ever try to get it to clean or eat food, bathe? Like, you stink. But you have to persuade. You have to sometimes negotiate. If you don't do your homework or improve your grades, you're losing your iPad. Does this make sense? You're going to lose your cell phone if you argue with me anymore, right? Now, again, I know that's different than selling, but my point is all of us can sell something if we're convinced, if we have belief. And this is why for some of you, you need to build up your product belief. If you don't believe in your product, you don't believe in what you're doing, that's part of the reason you suck at selling. Now, some of you might suck at it because you're like an infomercial, right? You're like a Spamela Anderson. I stole that from Fraser Brooks, right? You have commission breath and it stinks. But you need to develop this skill. I would get every book and I would learn, I would be downloading podcasts. I'd be downloading books on Audible. You guys know the app Audible. I'd be listening to everything I get my hands on. Here's what I'd also do if I were you. I'd be following all the top people. If I were you and in your company, there's what's called a leaderboard. You can look at a leaderboard and go, who are the top sellers? Follow those people. How are they posting on social? How are they marketing themselves? How are they promoting the product? You know, are they taking their products every morning and recording it in their story? You should probably do that too. Are they going live and providing value and creating their own Facebook community and a free offer and, you know, creating like an opt-in? Are they capturing leads on Project Broadcast? How are they doing their follow-ups? Like all of this stuff, you have to develop that skill. Now, I'm not saying you got to do the advanced strategies. Don't try to bite off more than you can chew, but at least go get your first, 3 to 5 customers, because if you can get some customers, then when you do start recruiting and you don't develop that second skill set, well, now you can teach them how to get customers. You can teach them how to start posting. You can teach them how to start marketing because you're literally doing it. You're not telling them what to do. You're showing them what to do. Here's exactly what I say. Here's exactly what I do. Here's how I show up. This is how you build up a 6-figure income. Because the truth is, if you can sell, then when you do recruit, you can teach your recruits how to sell. Now, I know part of the challenge, and I have these conversations literally multiple times, not a week, multiple times a day. A lot of people struggle with recruiting. Let me know in the comments, be honest, how many of you struggle with recruiting? How many of you struggle with launching new people or working with your recruits? Look, I get it. It's very common that recruiting is tough. It's a challenge. And it sucks too, because I've seen people, they start off really strong with recruiting, and then they get discouraged because they're like, I recruited 10 people and they did nothing. I go get 10 more. They're like, yeah, but those 10, like they didn't do anything. So they start prejudging people. How many of us are guilty of this? Smash the heart button if you're guilty of prejudging people. You assume that because those 10 you enrolled did nothing, that the next 10 are going to do nothing. And that's foolish. That's just not true. Now, I will tell you, I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it 100. I always do. You guys know this. If you recruit 100 people, you'll be lucky if you find 10 people that actually work hard and commit to the process. And I know for some people that's discouraging. But listen, 90% of people that get a real estate license never sell a house. But what's the first thing you do if you get a real estate license? What's the first thing you want to do if you get your real estate license? You want to what? Sell a house. You're not trying to recruit other realtors. You're trying to sell a house. So you should probably learn how to do that. But the truth is, there's just a lot of people out there that they want to go to heaven. They don't want to die. Right? A lot of people, I suck at recruiting. I'm like, how many people have you recruited? Like 2. Of course you suck. You've only done it 2 times. I suck at onboarding. I suck at mentoring. It is funny though, because sometimes people get lucky. Anyone ever get lucky? You recruit someone and they're like a rock star and they're so coachable and you're like, wow, this business is so easy. It's like, you probably got lucky. You probably got a little lucky, because it is true that a lot of people do very little. Listen, here's the reality. Most people that start a home-based business, they only want to make extra money. I think it's like 80% of the people that start a home-based business, 80%, they just want to make extra money. They want to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. In fact, let me know in the comments. Now, I can't see all the comments because we're streaming in 7 places, so I can only see the comments in my profile, unfortunately, on Facebook. But what did you want to make when you first got started? I know when I first got started in network marketing 22 years ago, when I was broke, busted, and disgusted, no background in business, no business being in business, and couldn't even spell freaking entrepreneur, I just wanted to make enough money not to wait tables, because I was waiting tables and I hated it. You guys remember in Living Color? Tell me how old you are without telling me how old you are. In Living Color. Hated it. Anyway, some of you will get that. I hated waiting tables. Oh my gosh, that was the worst job ever. Although I did pull up crab pots when I was like 16 or 17. That also really, really sucked. That was pretty bad. But I waiting tables, man, it was just you make no money, you work long hours, and it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me how people say, I own my own business, or I'm my own boss. Like I've got this network marketing business. And it's like you put in less time and effort into your network marketing business than you would put into a part-time job bartending or waiting tables. Like, right? It's kind of crazy, but you need to start actually, for those of you that are new-ish and you want to get to six figures, you need to start almost thinking of your business as not a business. I know you're like, wait a second, you always say CEO mentality, CEO mentality. Yeah, you do want to have a CEO mentality, but here's the truth. You almost have to treat it like a part-time job. You got to create a schedule. Because otherwise, if you're like, oh, I'm just fitting this into the nooks and crannies. How many people do you know that are successful in business, building a 6 or 7 figure income, that are uh, making it in the nooks and crannies? That's not a thing. You're not committed. You're treating it like a hobby. Hobbies don't make money, they cost money. So Helen says 3K a month, Joshua says 2,000. And I think that's amazing. That's most people when they get started. But the beauty is once you get to 2 or 3,000 a month, right? Now you can teach other people. So when people say they don't want to recruit, I don't think they get it. And I know there's some stuff with network marketing that's like, oh my gosh, this part of network marketing sucks. I hate the drama. I hate dealing with people. I hate the responsibility. Bah, 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 bah. But listen, mo money, mo problems. Bigger the problem, bigger the paycheck. That's just how it goes. That's just what it is. You say, I've got big dreams, big goals, big aspirations. I want to put my kids in the best private school. I want to travel the world. I want to fire my boss. I want to retire my parents. I want to pay off my debt. I want to, buy a Lambo, or I want to donate to my church. Whatever you want to do. If you got big goals, big dreams, it's going to take an equal amount of work, of commitment, of discipline, of stress. I mean, it goes hand in hand. That's why when I get people that are like, hey, are you ready to go on your like $1 million per month run? I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't want to. When my kids are older, sure. When my kids are like grown and but then I don't know. But then they might have grandkids. So I don't know. We'll see. Like I don't want to work any harder than I already do. I already have what I would consider the perfect day. And you might say, what's the perfect day? Well, you all have to write down, in my opinion, after this Money Monday, write down what does your perfect day look like? Because yours is different than mine. Like I today have already worked out. I've already lifted weights. I've already spent time with my daughter. I spent time with my dogs, right? I didn't do the sauna yet, but I did the sauna yesterday and I'll do it here this afternoon, right? I work from home. Like I have the perfect day. Maybe I'll play some pickleball later. You never can tell. You have to figure out what does your perfect day look like? Now, if Nadia was home right now, I'd say my perfect day is to also obviously spend some time with my gorgeous Russian bride. Now, she's down in Destin dealing with this nightmare situation. We're rehabilitating this house that the builder messed up and didn't waterproof the wood under the stucco. You have no idea, dude. Like Tim Housen and I, if you don't know Tim's my upline in my company and one of my really good friends, and we talk every day, and he's a beast. And uh, he's like, I had no idea your wife was like this. I was like, I'm telling you, bro, like this, when she locks into something, there's no stopping her. And I think I saw Michelle Barnes on here. Michelle will tell you, she always says, I need a Nadia. Everybody needs a Nadia. Listen, this woman handles her business. You have no idea what we're dealing with this real estate project, but Nadia's on it. And that brings me a lot of faith. And it's going to probably out of pocket cost us about $1 million. You're like, what about insurance? What about that? Believe me, we're trying to do all the things, but it's crazy. But this is the beauty of what we do, right? New levels, new devils. You want big paychecks, you're going to have big problems. It just goes hand in hand. Little problems, little paycheck, little lifestyle, little freedom. It's just what it is. So get over this, embrace the suck, get good at selling, get good at posting and marketing, and then get good at recruiting. And then where do you go from there? Like I like what Eric says about the 3 phases. You got phase 1, which is getting your first 10 recruits. How many of you are in phase 1 right now? And by the way, there's a scammer on here. There's a scammer. So Bem, if you could block that Kaylee Gardner. So weird, these Facebook scammer pages. Like it says connect to Mr. Ryan. He's running a program you will surely thank me for referring you to. Look, and they comment on every comment. Ew, I hate that. So spammy. Like these people are probably like somewhere international, like just setting up fake Facebook pages. And by the way, I will never message you on TikTok. I'm literally never on TikTok. I love TikTok. I think all of you should be on it. If you're trying to generate leads and build a following, me personally, I have the luxury of not being on TikTok. I don't really do a lot of stuff on TikTok, but people always send me screenshots of, hey, John, is this you on TikTok that's messaging me? No, I'm not pitching you on investments on TikTok. That's never me. And it's never me in the comments either. So delete that Kaylee Gardner weirdo. Anyway, I had a point. So phase one, let me know in the comments if you're in phase one. You haven't recruited your first 10 people. Until you've recruited your first 10 people, your business is going to be very, 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 very small. Now, the next level after that, I think he says, is for people that are on their way to six figures. Like they're at that 2, 3, 4, 5,000 a month, and they're on the way to six figures. And then he's got six-figure earners, right? The three phases, three levels, if you will, which I think is pretty accurate. I think that's pretty fair. Because if you don't have your first 10 recruits, stop getting caught up in all the advanced stuff, right? You've got to get to those first 10 recruits. So the question is, how many people are you reaching out to per day about the opportunity? Are you talking to your customers about the opportunity? Are you talking in your stories about the opportunity? Why not? How come you haven't interviewed your upline or interviewed other leaders in your company on your page? Like you're not talking about the business. So how are you going to attract people to a business you never talk about? It's kind of, right? It's, hello, you got to talk about it if you want people to be interested in it. And you have to proactively reach out to people and ask them if they're open. And I know for some of us, that's really uncomfortable. Some of us are doing it. Let me know how many of you struggle with that. Let me know how many of you struggle with proactively reaching out, proactively asking the open question. Hey, I found a game-changing way to make money online. I was just curious if you're keeping your income options open. It's not really that hard. I found a game-changing way to make money online. I was just curious if you're keeping your income options open. You're telling me you can't do that 5 times a day? That's not that difficult. You know, I don't really promote business pages all that much, Dina. I'm not a big fan of business pages. Business pages are great if you have a traditional business and you're willing to spend money. Like business pages are for the purpose of running ads. They're much more complex. So I don't teach that stuff. I'm not a fan of it, but I do think there's value in a business page. But as you know, or maybe you don't know, but I do most of my stuff in my personal profile. That's where I do most of my damage, and in the DMs. It goes down in the DM. One-on-one conversations. That's what I'm all about. Joan says she's struggling. Well, Joan, let me ask you a question. What are you struggling with? And here's the thing. Some of you just need to make some enhancements to your profile. Like if I go to some of your profiles and I see that all you do is post a bunch of random things 5 times a day, you don't have a professional. Look at my profile picture. Look at my bio. Look at what I post. Do you see me posting a bunch of random things that have no purpose, no meaning, no value? You have got to get better at marketing yourself. You have got to get better at videos, at picture taking, at stories, at content creation, telling your story, relating to your audience. Write down the 3 E's: empower, entertain, or educate. Education, by the way, is the highest form of sales. You know why I've recruited so many leaders over the years? I recruited 6 more people last month. I've already recruited 1 person this month. I mean, I recruit people all the time. I've got so much momentum in pockets of my team. So many people having their best month ever because I connect with people. I mentor people. This is what I do 8 days a week. Nobody outworks me. Nobody outworks me. Nobody responds to messages faster. Nobody puts out more value. I make more money than almost all of your upline, and I still do videos all the time. So what's your excuse? I don't know what to talk about. Well, then you better start talking. You better start talking. That's how you learn what to talk about. Talk about things you're learning. Talk about things that you think are valuable. How do I know if something's valuable? Well, let me ask you this. Did you find anything valuable from this conversation? What are you listening to? What are you reading? Because when you're reading and listening to people that are providing value, you can turn around and say, here's something I just learned today. Here's an insight. Here's a tip. This is one of those things that you have to play with, right? People are like, I suck at video. How many videos have you done? Everybody sucks at videos in the beginning. Embrace the suck. Suck it up, Buttercup. We all suck in the beginning at anything we've never done before. Empower, entertain, educate, Tori. You like that, Jackie? I slide that in all the time. No one ever catches it. I work 8 days a week, baby. 29 hours a day. Let's go. People are like, when did you sleep? I'm like, I sleep 8 hours a night. Sometimes maybe it's 7, but I get my sleep. The only days I probably don't go live are the days where I'm either traveling or I didn't get a good night's sleep. If I go to bed late, like, I don't know, that's maybe the only time where I'm like, I just don't feel like it. But again, I have that luxury. I have that luxury of not needing to do videos. I have the luxury of not having to do TikTok. But if I were you, I'd write this down. How many of you have been with the same company for a while and you're struggling? Anybody riding the struggle bus? Joan says, I need to become afraid of videos. You mean you need to become not afraid? I think you forgot a word. Because that wouldn't make sense, right? You wouldn't want to become afraid. Well, I'll tell you this. With my team, I'm doing a 14-day video and prospecting challenge, and I love it. Because everybody, most people in the challenge are new-ish to video. So we got them all in a chat together. They're all using this hashtag MLifeChallenge. It's a really cool thing to do that stuff. Like, for those of you that maybe don't have that on your team or in your company, maybe find some people to do videos with, right? Like, hey, guys, I want to do like a 14-day video challenge or 30-day video challenge, whatever. We just happen to have our big annual conference that's like next week. So we wanted to like do a 14-day challenge right into the event. But I would say, get with some sidelines, get with your upline. Like, hey, I want to start doing videos every day. Like, who wants to do this with me? And you guys could do some videos together, right? And kind of support each other and engage on each other's videos. And, like, maybe you hop on a video that someone does and you give them some tips. Like, hey, I really liked how when you started talking about this. Like, sometimes we need outside perspective, but I want to be clear. That's the marketing. Y'all don't know what I do behind the scenes. Like, if you saw my inbox, you'd be like, how? Because I'm a beast. That's why I got 2 phones. Like, I am a beast. I'm efficient. I'm effective. I'm responsive. You need to learn to communicate with peoples. You need to learn how to talk to people. You need to learn how to develop that confidence, that posture, and that only comes through the doing. You can read all the books you want. You can have all the scripts you want, but the only way, and listen, I want you to also, as Nadia would say, take the stick out of your butt. Like, some of you are so uptight and you put so much pressure on yourself to be good at something, and you're so embarrassed to start small. When you first start reaching out to people, you're not going to have this level of posture. When you first start doing videos, you're not going to know what to talk about. Neither did I. Welcome to the club. It took me 7 years to fire my boss, 16 years to become a millionaire. It takes time. It takes time to get good at anything, right? Follow-ups, recruiting, onboarding, selling, marketing. These are all skills, but none of this is rocket science. Thank God. I dropped out of community college. All of you can build a 6-figure income. Some of you don't even know how big your team needs to be or how big your volume or business needs to be to make 6 figures. You don't even know your comp plan. Reach out to your upline and be like, hey, I want to learn how to go, like in our company, it's elite, right? You could build a team of 100 people. You should do about 100,000 in volume, give or take. If you have 100 active people in your team in our company, you should do 100,000 in volume. Like, you should know this. But if you only have 2 people on your team and you go, I want to make 6 figures, what do you need to do? Go get 98 people. And you might say, oh my gosh, 98 people is a big number. It's really not. Because there's 7 billion on the planet. To find 98 that want to make extra money is not that tough, actually. And remember, it's not you getting 98 people. It's you getting whatever right? You might get 6 people. You might get 9 people. You might get 22 people. I don't know, but you're going to get some people to join your team because let me ask you this. Are there people joining your company every single day? Are there people joining your company every single day? Like, my team enrolled like 300 or 400 people last month. So I can tell you, there's people joining my team and my company every single day. There's people joining your company every single day. It's either you're getting to those people or someone else is getting to them. You might say, yeah, but people say no to me. They say no to me too. Get over it. Next. Look, let me show you my follow-up book. Oh, I don't have it with me. I thought I did. Oh, actually, in the trackers, I forgot I got to give away some of these. So who's sharing, who's tagging people? We'll pick some of these winners afterwards. I keep track of every single person I ATM, every single person I put into a group chat with upline, with downline. So when I get a prospect, a business prospect, I add them into a group, tag them in a video, put them in a chat with 3 or 4 other people so they can hear their story. They get their questions answered and they see the system. I'm like, could you do what I'm doing? They're like, well, all you did was add me to a group, tag me in a video, and then put me in a chat with other people. I'm like, yeah. Could you do that? Like, that's it. I'm like, whoever introduces me to the most people makes the most money. If you introduce me to people, you make money. Even if that person doesn't join, you're still learning. And at some point, you can remove the L. That's it. You do a lot more learning than earning in the beginning. How do you keep track? You put them in a follow-up book, Tori. Put them in a follow-up book. And on our resources page that I talked about, remember our resources page I mentioned in the beginning for those you got on late? mylifestyleacademy.com/resources. We got a digital version of the 90-day tracker. We've got our social media prospecting and recruiting guide with scripts. We've got our tracker. So it's not a tracker, it's a follow-up book. So basically you take the file, and it has all the instructions right there on the page, on our resources page. But you take the follow-up document, okay, it's just one page, you take it to Kinko's or Office Max or whatever, and they can make you this little spiral notebook. And I just keep track. I keep track. Actually, I'm going to just go grab it. I want to show you guys. And if you hang up, you're missing out. So this is where I put every single person I'm working on, okay? So as you can see, these are the people I'm working on right now. And someone might say, well, I couldn't see it. Well, that's because they're my prospects. I'm not going to put that on the freaking video. But as you can see, all right, I'm crossing off the people that say no. I put an FU next to the people I'm following up with. You have a dirty mind. You have a dirty, dirty mind. That means I followed up with them, because the fortune's in the follow-up, and most people don't join after 1 or 2 calls, 1 or 2 conversations. Typically out of 20 people, I sign up like, anywhere. Let me just look. From this page, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 out of 20 on that page. Next page, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 20 on the next page. So I circle every person that I enroll as a customer or a social marketer. The next page, 1, 2, 3 out of 20. Man, I was slacking that week. The next week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 20. And then the next page, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 20. How many of you know your ratios? How many of you know how many people you enroll out of 20? Some of you don't even know. You're like, how are you going to build a 6-figure income if you don't track your numbers? Do you track your volume? How many of you track your volume? Getting organized is key. It's just making it a priority. Your business is either a priority or it's a hobby. That's it. That's how it goes. See this right here? Elite Black 1, 2, 3. This means my team had to do over 6 million in monthly sales. How do you think I got there? I learned how to sell, learned how to market. I learned how to recruit. I taught my recruits how to get balloons on my screen. That's kind of neat and weird at the same time. I taught my people how to recruit. And then I developed leaders. And it's funny. I almost don't like saying that because no one developed me. You don't really develop a leader. A leader develops himself, but I identified leaders. Because in the beginning, you're a fishing pole. Your upline's the fisherman. But eventually you want to what? Develop fishermen. So eventually I started finding some people that weren't just fishing poles, they were fishermen. And every dud knows a stud. Some of my best people on my team right now, some of my absolute best people on my team today, I didn't enroll them. They were enrolled by someone else. That was enrolled by someone else. I was enrolled by someone else. Does that make some sense? But the only way to get to the top ranks in your company, whatever those ranks are, the only way to get into the $1 million Hall of Fame, y'all, is you have to help other people get to 6 figures. That's the beauty. It's really hard to get to 6 figures. I always tell people it's hard to get rich. It's harder to stay rich. It's hard to get rich. It's harder to stay rich. It's hard to get to 6 figures. It's harder to stay at 6 figures. But you know how you stay and actually get past 6 figures into 7? You help 10 to 20 people get to 6 figures. That's the beauty. If you help 10 to 20 people get to 6 figures, you'll be at 7 figures. So again, when you say, well, that's a lot of people, 98 people is a lot, or 10 people, how is that a lot? Compared to what? Compared to what? Like, that doesn't even make sense to say that's a lot of people. Out of 7 billion people, that's not a lot. I have hundreds of people join my team every month. I have thousands and thousands. We have anywhere from 5 to 10,000 new customers a month coming into our business. So that mindset is your problem. That's why you need to do the personal development. That's why you do more learning than earning in the beginning. So you need to develop the thick skin. You need to develop confidence. How do you develop confidence if you had to guess? How many of you played sports? How many of you sucked at the sport you got good at later? Like, I was a baseball player. I sucked at baseball. At my first practice, I cried because I was 8 years old and I didn't have a glove. And they were like, "Where's your glove?" I was like, "I don't have a glove." Right? I sucked at baseball. Now, eventually, because I was committed, I was disciplined, I actually loved playing baseball. I loved to win. I loved to compete. Didn't like the other sports. Baseball was good. I was a catcher. And eventually I got so good, I was on the all-star team. And I was like one of the best catchers in the state of Maryland. Now, I got expelled my senior year for fighting, so I never got any awards. I didn't even play my senior year, kind of a bummer. But, at the end of the day, worked my face off. Worked my face off with practicing and with learning the game. And if you started to treat your business like a sport, like a game, you got competitive, you had fun with it, and you stopped, being so uptight when you're talking to people, uptight with your videos. Like, if someone joins, awesome. If they say no, awesome. Some will, some won't, some wait. So what next? If they quit your team, awesome. Right? It's just like that's just what happens. Someone orders product and they cancel, or they return their product, or you recruit someone and then like the aliens abducted them. Like, what happened to Stan? Stan was so awesome. Stan said he knew everybody. Yeah, but nobody knew Stan. That's just what happens. This is the reality of business. And by the way, this is also life. No one's getting out alive. Everyone wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to be rich and make 6 figures and 7 figures. Oh, I got to recruit people. Oh, I got to follow. I don't want to be annoying. What do you mean annoying? Thank God someone was annoying me to get involved in network marketing 22 years ago. It was pretty annoying when my last company was shut down by the FTC. Blessing in disguise. Best thing that could have happened. It's pretty annoying when I had a company sue me because I was cross recruiting and sharing trade secrets. That was pretty annoying. But this too shall pass. I mean, I've had some pretty annoying things happen. Y'all know some of the annoying things that happened just recently. That's fine. It is what it is. Like, I don't want to deal with annoying things. Just like I don't want to deal with this multi-million-dollar house renovation. Just like I don't want to deal with my freaking 6-year-old dog Toby has got cancer. Like, that's life. None of us are getting out alive. And the problems you have right now are not going to be problems a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. Does that make sense? Like, you just got to roll with the punches. Anytime something bad happens, I just want you to go plot twist. How many of you have a favorite movie or favorite shows, right? Think about some of your favorite movies of all time, some of your favorite shows of all time. What do they all have in common? They probably have a really good what? Plot twist. They probably have a really good storyline. There's probably a lot of drama. It's probably stressful. You probably end up crying, right? Titanic, Notebook. Like, it's like they have some of the worst things happen, right? Like, Jack dies at the end. Oh my God. At the end of Sixth Sense, what? The whole time he was freaking dead. The whole time his wife wasn't talking to him because he died. Oh my God. It's like, plot twist. Best movie. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So here's what I'll challenge you to do. ATM your face off this week. You want to start recruiting? I would have a goal of 10 people a day minimum. I'm popping the question. I'm putting my upline in at least three group chats a day. All my top recruiters, they're putting me in group chats. Not just me. They're putting 3 to 4 of their upline. They're putting 3 to 4 upline in a chat. Now, if you see my upline sucks, they don't respond, get some sideline sisters, some sideline brothers. Like, it needs to be you, your prospect, and at least 3 to 4 other people in a Facebook Messenger chat so everybody can share their story and answer questions. Now, if you're like, John, but I'm not even good at the selling. Okay, cool. What are you doing to improve that? Whatever you lack, you attack. So you suck at selling? Okay. What do you mean you suck at selling? Explain. I don't know what to say. I don't know what product. Da, da, da. Like, how do you think everybody learned to sell? By selling, by doing it, by failing, by messing it up, by using the scripts, by, trying the products, promoting the products. Like, Anything you lack, you attack. You, okay, I suck at this. Let me focus on this one thing. Part of the problem with a lot of you is you do too much too soon. You're biting off more than you can chew. You're like, I need to do TikTok videos and Facebook Lives, and I need to like sell the products, and I need to also use the products, and I also need to learn to recruit. And I'm also going to go to this event, and I'm going to buy this course, and then I'm also going to go to this event, and then I'm going to read this book. Like, dude, chill. Like, focus on one thing at a time. If you can't even get your first 5 customers, you haven't gotten 5 customers, get your first 5 customers. And then people go, then what? Well, then go get 5 more customers and go get your first recruit. That's what I teach my people. When I enroll someone, I'm like, let's get your first 5 customers and your first recruit. Then what? Go get 2 more recruits, 3, 4, 5, 6 more customers. Like it's a process. It's a learning process. Some people have more natural ability and influence than others. So don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 6. Don't get that comparitis. Comparison is the thief of joy. Anytime you compare, if I were to compare my lifestyle or my bank account to a billionaire, I'd be discouraged, right? If I compared my physique to a fitness model, I'd be discouraged. If I compared my baseball abilities, my pickleball abilities to someone that's like, a professional player, that would be discouraging. And that's what most of you do. You compare yourself to the best people in your company, right? You compare yourself to the people that are 5, 6, 10 years ahead of you. That makes no sense. It's like a first grader being discouraged that they don't understand physics. It's like, dude, you're in first grade. Chill. It's all a matter of perspective. So you want to get good at the marketing and the prospecting. You want to get good at the connections, right? Having those conversations. You want to get good at ATM. Some people are like, I don't even know what ATM is. You should probably learn. You should probably reach out, find out like, hey, how do we expose people to the products or opportunity? What groups do I add people in? What are the best videos to tag them in? Like, this is not complicated stuff. I get people like, I don't know how to add someone to a group. I go, I bet you could learn it. I bet you could. You guys ever get kids that are, how many of you have kids, right? They do, I don't know how to do this, mom. I don't know how to do laundry. Let's go. You know what? Great opportunity to learn. You're a teenager. You should probably learn how to wash your clothes. You ain't gonna live here forever, bud. Right? I don't know how to cook. Oh, I bet you could figure it out. You're so smart. You ever heard of Google? GTS, baby. Google that shiz. This is not rocket science, man. I dropped out of community college and I make more in a month than most professors make in a year. So I'm just saying, like, if I can do it, so can you. If I can do it, so I just been doing it longer. I can never do videos like John. You're right, you couldn't because I paid my price. The stuff I've been through, man, you guys have no idea. You guys have no idea. That's why I have the big bank account. How many of you want an MBA? Massive bank account. You need to get some college and coffee? You need to work your face off. That's it. Some people say, John, I am excited. Tell your face. Getting rich is hard. Staying rich is harder. Why? Because people are crazy. People say, if everybody said yes, it'd be so easy. If nobody ever quit, oh, wouldn't that be awesome? It is what it is. By the way, who has questions? Because I'm in a feisty mood, spitting some facts. If I miss something, you tell me. Haha, one of their favorite words. I don't know how. I can't do it, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, so true. Yes, no, it can't be, Cindy. It's already spread. It's super sad and unfortunate, but we're gonna be positive and just enjoy the days that he's here. Thanks, John. Hopping on my mentor call. See you. Yeah, I will see you in Long Beach, Helen. But yeah, get good at selling, get good at marketing, then get good at recruiting, teaching other people how to sell and market, then teaching them how to recruit. That's the key to success. That's called duplication. It's a beautiful thing. It is a thing of beauty. And then once you get really good at this, man, it's become so much fun. People are like, why do you still recruit? Because it's so much fun, because I enjoy it, because I love changing someone's life for a living. Do you not get that? Growing the following, Tori, videos. Nothing's more powerful than video. Think of all the people you follow. You probably don't follow people that just post selfies. You probably don't just, we want to be a service culture, not a selfie culture. You probably follow people that offer value. They share their story. They're funny because funny equals money, or they're inspiring, right? That's why I gave the 3 E's: entertainment, empowerment. You're empowering other people. You're inspiring other people, right? You're entertaining them. You're making them laugh. You're making them cry. You're making them like they enjoy. Or the one that's my favorite is education. I like to entertain, so I mix in some fun, right? But like I'm teaching you something. And what does that do? Well, number one, if you teach someone something, they look at you as an expert. You look at a lot of my top sellers, a lot of my best recruiters, they provide value and they show up every single day. Cindy Curry, who just hit the biggest rank in our company last month out of Canada. Like if you saw her content, she's always same thing over and over. She's talking about collagen. She's talking about anti-aging. She's talking about skincare and giving tips. Like she's always talking about castor oil. That's what works for her. Tina Magaris, some of you have probably seen, I interviewed her a couple months ago. She had 18 people on her team produce 100,000 in volume in November. And they have a menopause group and they offer fitness tips and supplementation tips and diet and exercise. Like it's a 60,000 person community, all women. And they're killing it because they're offering value. It's a service. And by the way, it's free. People can be in that group and never buy anything. That's next level. They connect with every single person individually. Natalie Ellis, I see you on here. She's been killing the game. How many people did you enroll last month, Natalie? Huge top earner, absolutely killing it. Guess what? She's got influence. She's worked her face off. That's not like an easy thing to do. But when you do it and you create, it's fun. It's like you can't wait to recruit. I can't wait to get into the next conversation to enroll someone to change their freaking life. It's amazing. Corinne says, thank you for reigniting the fire. I'm going to ask 10 people. I love it. Let's go. Jackie goes, I'm hilarious. That's it. See, funny equals money. Show up with your sense of humor. It makes a big, big impact. What's up, Tina? I was just talking about you, right? How many of you know Michelle Churchill? Literally, she goes live every single morning for an hour, makes breakfast and answers questions, and she slays. She goes live from 3 different devices. Ashley Dawes, live from 3 different devices every single morning. Now, you might say, what do I talk about for an hour? They didn't know what to talk about for an hour either. They didn't know what to talk about either, but they just started doing it. And they started figuring out, like, I like talking about protein. I like talking about, snacks and healthy snacks and tips on making breakfast. And I like talking about my trim product. And I like talking about collagen. I like talking about lifting weights. Like they figured out what worked for them. What works for them might not work for you. I couldn't do what Tina does. Natalie enrolled 29 people last month. That is insane to the membrane. That is insane to the membrane. Chrissy says she kills it. And Chrissy, that's probably why you were attracted to her, because you saw her showing up as an authority. If you're not building an authority brand on social media, cool. But that just means your people that follow you, that know you, are going to join me. They're going to join Tina. They're going to join Jenna Casa, who's building an incredible following, an incredible brand. She's a life coach. She had to work her ass off to get that certification. She had to do a lot of studying and learning. But now she attracts amazing people. She's very good at video. Why? Because she's done it over and over and over. To stop with the analysis paralysis. I don't know what to talk about. Start talking. You'll figure it out. I don't know what to say when I'm following up with people. Well, first of all, then you need my scripts. Drop scripts in the comments if you don't have my scripts. But it's not. Hey, Sarah, just wanted to touch base, see if you had any questions, and if you're ready to get started. So excited to help you drop 5 to 10 pounds in 5 days, or so excited to help you get in the best shape of your life, or so excited to help you make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, or so excited to help you fire your boss. What do they want to do? Here's a great question. What would your goal be getting started? How about you ask that question? If you were to get started on our product, if you were to get started on our collagen, if you were to get started in our opportunity, in our company, like what would be your goal? What kind of income do you want to make? What kind of product result are you looking for? This ain't rocket science. You ask people questions. How was your weekend? Be a human first and a marketer second. Be a human first, a friend first, and a marketer second. If all you're ever trying to do is sell and pitch, that's why you suck at this. But that's okay. I sucked in the beginning too. We all suck. We all suck at first. Lisa says, yes, I'm all about making people launch. That's it. Or making people laugh. Okay, I got it. Laugh, not launch. Yeah. But we also should help people launch. It's funny how many people, they join a business just like they join the gym. But joining the gym doesn't do ish. That doesn't do ish. You ain't going to get no result unless you launch your business, right? And you also have to keep in mind that some people are not willing to do video right away. Some people are not willing to start talking to friends and family. So figure out what they are willing to do. You're the mentor. You're the coach. You're the guide. They're partnering with you. They're buying from you. They could have bought from someone else. They could have joined someone else. Or they are joining someone else. They're not joining you. What does that tell you? You got to get better. Don't be bitter, get better. Don't be bitter, get better. Why are they joining this person and that? Because they're better than you. They've been doing it longer than you. Aren't you better at things than other people? Why? Because you did it longer. You were more excited to get good at it. I don't know what to tell you, man. That's called life. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. I mean, it's so hard to launch a business. It's so hard to show up every day. I get it, but it's hard to eat healthy because there's temptations out there. There's distraction. It's like, right? You go to work, you're like, I'm eating healthy today, and someone brings in donuts. You got to say no. You got to say no. Someone says, "Hey man, let's instead of doing live video, let's Netflix and chill." This is why, by the way, I do my videos during the day, because if I waited until the evening to do my videos, I probably wouldn't do them. But whatever you lack, you attack. Don't be bitter, get better. Don't be frustrated, get fascinated. Say, what are the top people doing? Let me learn from them. Let me reach out to them. Let me build a relationship with these top people that I look up to. Let me learn what they're doing and how they're doing it. Let me get better, because if I get better, my results will be better. Doesn't that just make good common sense? This is why you're not making the money you want to make, because you don't deserve it yet, because you haven't put in the sweat equity. That's what I love about this type of business. You're going to get what you deserve. That's right, Lisa. Life is hard, period. Right? It's hard to get rich. Harder to stay rich. And look, for some of you, maybe you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you're not cut out for this type of business, and that's okay too. Some people are meant to work for other people and be an employee. There's nothing wrong with that. By the way, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now, I bet for some of you, you're like, hey, that's rude. John, that's messed up, man. I don't want to work for somebody else. I get it. That's why you should still watch it 51 minutes in. It's a long-ass video. I was planning on making it 15 to 20 minutes, but you guys got me fired up. You got me fired up. Sweat equity, that's it. That's it. All right, y'all. Hope you got value from this. And listen, if you want a digital version of the 90-day tracker, go to our resources page. Or if you want the scripts, right? I mentioned a couple things. Resources, mylifestyleacademy.com/resources. Everything's on our resources page. We'll also edit this video. Once it's over, you'll see the resources link in the description. And if you want to win a 90-day tracker, we only have a handful of these. We're not selling these anymore. We only have enough, maybe 20 of them. So I'm going to ship out some 90-day trackers to a couple winners. If you want to be a winner, you got to share the broadcast and or tag some people. Always good value from you, Sensei. Tina, you're the best. I love this team. I love these people. Chris says I want the hard copy. Of course you do, but that's only going to go out to winners. And I can't guarantee who's going to win, because I don't pick the winners. My team picks the winners. Okay? He says, I don't want to work for anyone else. That's right. I'm unemployable. She goes, but I'm a librarian for kids, so that's cool for now. Yeah, that's cool. I always tell people I'm unemployable. I can never work for someone else. Someone tell me what to do. Hey, John, you got to be here at 9 a.m. I'm just going to show up at 9:05 because you told me I have to be there at a certain time. I don't like being told what to do. Anyway, you guys are amazing. Hope you got value from this. So learn to sell, learn to market, learn to recruit. Help your recruits learn to sell and market, and then teach them how to recruit. It's called duplication. Get to 6 figures. Recruit your first 10, then get to 6 figures, and then teach 10 to 20 people get to 6 figures. And that's how you get to these top ranks in your company. And your team will do millions a month, and you'll make 6 figures a month. And no, there's no guarantee. And no, most of you will never get there. Let's be very clear. Most of you will never make 6, let alone 7 figures. But for those of you that are willing to do the hard work, the internal work, the external work, you're willing to work your face off, you can make that happen. All right, y'all. I'm Audi 5000. Peace. If you need anything, feel free to reach out to me. If you don't know what Audi 5000 is, you're not as old as me. I'm sorry. Audi 5000. See you.